Have you ever wondered how a society, once ruled by monarchy, turned into a republic? It's a puzzle that has intrigued historians for centuries. The French Revolution, a tumultuous period of blood, sweat, and tears, marked a seismic shift in the world order. From the fall of the monarchy to the rise of a republic, it was a time that saw great social and political changes, the effects of which are still felt today. Join us as we journey through the tumultuous events of the French Revolution. The French Revolution did not happen overnight. It was a result of a mix of social, political, and economic factors. Before the revolution, France was governed by the Ancien Régime, a system of monarchy that had been in place for centuries. This regime was characterized by a rigid social structure, where the king and the first and second estates, comprised of the clergy and the nobility, held absolute power. The third estate, made up of commoners and the burgeoning bourgeoisie, were heavily taxed and had little to no say in governance, leading to widespread resentment. Meanwhile, France was spiraling into a severe financial crisis. Extravagant spending by Louis XVI and his predecessor, coupled with costly wars, had drained the royal coffers. Attempts to reform the tax system met with resistance from the privileged classes, exacerbating the financial woes. In a desperate bid to resolve the crisis, Louis XVI summoned the Estates General in 1789. This assembly, which had not met for nearly 2 centuries, was composed of representatives from each estate. The third estate, representing the commoners, was however outnumbered, and their demands for reform were largely ignored. This dismissal of their concerns only fueled the growing discontent among the third estate. They felt marginalized, overtaxed, and underrepresented. The commoners were bearing the brunt of the economic hardship, while the nobility and the clergy lived in relative luxury. As the resentment grew, so did the desire for change. The ideas of Enlightenment philosophers like Rousseau and Voltaire, advocating for equality and democracy, began to resonate deeply with the common people. They started questioning the divine right of kings and the unequal social structure. In a pivotal move, the Third Estate declared itself the National Assembly, vowing to draft a constitution that would limit the powers of the king and grant more rights to the common people. All these factors led to the storming of the Bastille, marking the beginning of the French Revolution. On July 14, 1789, an event occurred that shook France to its core. This was the day when a crowd of Parisians stormed the Bastille, a state prison that held just 7 inmates at the time. But it wasn't the prisoners they were after. The Bastille was a symbol of the absolute and arbitrary power of Louis XVI's ancient regime. By storming this fortress prison, the people were signaling their refusal to live under the oppression of the monarchy. The event sparked the flame of revolution in the hearts of the French populace. News of the Bastille's fall spread like wildfire, igniting a wave of rebellion across the country. This was not just an attack on a prison, it was a statement against tyranny, a call for liberty, and a declaration of the people's power. The Bastille's fall was just the beginning of a decade-long revolution. The French Revolution had begun, and it would forever change the face of history. Fear gripped France as the Reign of Terror began. This chilling chapter of the French Revolution was a time when the guillotine became a symbol of ruthless justice, and the streets of Paris ran red. At the helm of this fear-inducing era was Maximilien Robespierre, a man of unwavering resolve. He was a lawyer by profession, but history knows him as an architect of the Reign of Terror. Robespierre, alongside his radical faction, the Jacobins, believed that the revolution was in danger. To protect it, they decided to purge France of its enemies. Their weapon of choice? The guillotine. The guillotine, a machine designed to execute with precision, became the embodiment of the Great Terror. It was a frightful sight looming over town squares, waiting to claim its next victim. The Reign of Terror was not a time of selective justice. Nobles, clergy, and commoners alike fell victim to the blade. It was a time when suspicion could cost you your life, and trust was a luxury few could afford. Robespierre, in his quest to protect the revolution, became a figure synonymous with the terror. His speeches were laced with warnings of conspiracies and the need for public virtue. For him, terror was an emanation of virtue, something to be used when the homeland was in danger. However, his reign was not without opposition. Many questioned his methods, his constant insistence on conspiracies, and his increasingly autocratic rule. The Reign of Terror lasted for 10 months, from September 1793 to July 1794. In this period, an estimated 16,000 people met their fate at the guillotine. However, the terror was not infinite. In a twist of fate, Robespierre, the architect of the Reign of Terror, met his end at the hands of the very machine he had wielded with such ruthlessness. His death marked the end of the Reign of Terror, but it did not bring calm. It merely marked the beginning of another chapter of uncertainty and political upheaval. The Reign of Terror ended with the fall of Robespierre, but the revolution was far from over. As the revolution raged on, a new leader emerged from the chaos. This leader was none other than Napoleon Bonaparte, a man who would become a household name not just in France but across the globe. Born in Corsica, Napoleon was not initially seen as a man destined for greatness. However, he quickly rose through the ranks of the French military during the revolution. His strategic mindset and charismatic leadership made him a beacon of hope for a nation in turmoil. His victories in Italy and Egypt bolstered his reputation, turning him from a mere general into a national hero. By 1799, France was desperate for stability, and Napoleon was seen as the man to provide it. He orchestrated a coup d'état, effectively ending the French Revolution and establishing himself as the first consul of France. The French people, weary of the chaos of the revolution, largely welcomed Napoleon's authoritarian rule. He implemented a series of reforms, including a new legal system known as the Napoleonic Code, which still forms the basis of French civil law today. However, Napoleon's ambition didn't stop at France's borders. In 1804, he declared himself Emperor of the French, a title that hadn't been used since the fall of the Roman Empire. He embarked on a series of wars known as the Napoleonic Wars, expanding his empire across much of Europe. His reign, though marked by military victories, was also characterized by ruthless oppression and an insatiable hunger for power. Despite his downfall in 1815 at the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon's influence on France and the world is undeniable. His rule brought an end to the turmoil of the French Revolution, establishing a sense of order and stability. Yet his reign also served as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked power. Napoleon's reign marked the end of the French Revolution, but its impacts were far-reaching. His legacy, like the revolution itself, is a complex mix of progress and tyranny, a testament to the tumultuous era that was the French Revolution. The French Revolution, despite its violent nature, brought about significant changes. The aftermath was a time of profound transformation, not just within France but beyond its borders, spreading waves of influence across Europe and the world. One of the most immediate effects was the abolition of feudalism. This age-old system, which had kept the common people in servitude, was completely dismantled. The aristocracy's privileges evaporated overnight, and land was redistributed. This seismic shift led to a more equitable society, fostering a sense of freedom and equality that hadn't existed before. But the revolution didn't stop at socio-economic reform. It also gave birth to a powerful sense of nationalism. For the first time, the concept of a nation was linked not to a monarchy, but to the people. The French citizens, united in their struggle, began to identify as a collective whole, as a nation. This feeling of unity and shared identity was not confined to France. The spirit of nationalism, once ignited, spread like wildfire across Europe, inspiring countless other movements and revolutions. At the heart of the revolution lay the establishment of secular and democratic principles. The revolutionaries championed the idea of liberty, equality, fraternity, seeking to break free from the religious and monarchic shackles of the past. The church was separated from the state, and power was no longer the birthright of the few, but the privilege of the many. This shift marked the dawn of modern democracy, where the people held the power to govern themselves. Yet, the revolution was not without its casualties. It was a time of great turmoil and bloodshed. Many lives were lost, and the scars of this violent upheaval are still visible today. But the seeds sown during this tumultuous period proved to be the foundation of a new world order. The French Revolution, a tumultuous period in history, dramatically reshaped France and the world. Its legacy is a testament to the power of human will and the relentless pursuit of freedom and equality. The French Revolution was not just an event, but a significant turning point in history. It began as a revolt against an oppressive monarchy and ended up reshaping the very fabric of society, both in France and globally. The seeds of revolution were sown by a complex mix of social, political, and economic factors. The monarchy's extravagant spending, coupled with widespread economic hardship and social inequality, created a perfect storm for discontent. The Enlightenment ideas of liberty, equality, and fraternity further kindled the flames of revolution. The storming of the Bastille, a symbol of royal tyranny, marked the beginning of violent upheaval. It was a decisive moment, signaling the end of absolute monarchy and paving the way for a constitutional government. This iconic event ignited a wave of radical political change throughout France. Then came the Reign of Terror, a period of extraordinary violence and political purges. The guillotine, an enduring symbol of this era, claimed the lives of thousands, including the king himself. It was a time of great turmoil, but also of significant political transformation. The rise of Napoleon Bonaparte, a military genius with a penchant for power, marked the end of the revolution. His rule brought stability, but also a return to autocracy. Despite this, many of the revolution's ideals were embedded in his Napoleonic Code, which continues to influence legal systems worldwide. The aftermath of the revolution was equally significant. It triggered the decline of absolute monarchies, the rise of democracies, and the spread of nationalism. Moreover, it fundamentally altered the social structure, ushering in an era where merit outweighed birthright. In essence, the French Revolution was a crucible of modern political and social thought. It was a tumultuous time of great change, marked by remarkable triumphs and devastating losses. But above all, it was a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity, striving for a better, more equitable world. The French Revolution serves as a reminder of the power of the masses and the enduring quest for liberty, equality, and fraternity. It stands as a beacon, illuminating the path towards a more just society. In the end, the French Revolution stands as a testament to the power of the people. This remarkable event, fueled by the collective will of a nation, forever altered the course of history. Its impact was not confined to the borders of France, but resonated across the world, leaving an indelible mark on the landscape of political and social change. The French Revolution serves as a stark reminder of the potential for transformation when societal discontent reaches a boiling point. It showcases the ability of the masses to rise against oppression, to challenge the status quo, and to shape their own destiny. The lessons of the French Revolution are as relevant today as they were over 2 centuries ago. As we reflect on the influence of this monumental event, we are reminded of the enduring power of ideas, of the importance of a shared vision, and of the collective strength of the people. The French Revolution continues to be a source of inspiration, a beacon of hope for those who seek to challenge inequality and injustice. In the grand tapestry of history, the French Revolution is a vibrant thread, woven with the courage and determination of a people who refuse to be silenced. It serves as a powerful testament to the enduring human spirit, to our capacity for resilience and our unwavering pursuit of a better world. As we look back on the French Revolution, we are reminded of the power of the people to bring about change, and the enduring legacy of this pivotal moment in history.